Good afternoon. We're happy to welcome you to Moscow campus of Russian Presidential Academy of National Economy and Public Administration, the biggest socio-economic and humanities universities in Russia and in Europe. Today our group of experts on project management will speak about project management tool called Prince2. Prince2, as a methodology itself, decoded as Projects and Control Environments, is a structured project management method that allows to divide projects into manageable and controllable stages. It's used and tailored for a majority of projects around the world, and also it's one of the most recognized certifications for accredited project managers. Prince2 has 7 principles. The principles can be described as best practice and mindset. They keep the projects aligned with the Prince2 methodology. They are evidenced in every part of the project, like in roles assigned, documents required, stage of the life cycle, and delegated authorities and procedures at corporate governance, project control, stage management, work package delivery. If a project does not adhere to these principles, it's not being managed using Prince2 methodology. Today we will discuss one of the principles of Prince2 that's called focus on products. It consists of many parts, but our experts will speak about ones that consistently trouble projects in delivering it to time, cost, scope, risk, quality, benefits. Focus on products means focusing on the plan, responsibilities, scope, change control, quality, acceptance of product, and management of risk behind mentioned 6 controls.
Prince2 encourages you to commence your planning by considering the product to be delivered. Product-based planning is a powerful technique and a good starting point for your planning activities. It produces a roadmap for the project and ultimately identifies a good proportion of the task for your schedule. Main task in product planning is to create product breakdown structure, and this will help you and your team to brainstorm all the products that are needed. You do this at the beginning of the project life cycle in starting up stage. This is created as a draft in consultation with the customer, that is the business and the user. It is refined when full planning is done in the initiating stage and review every stage boundary, and when issue or risk arise. The product breakdown structure is a form of hierarchy structure of the product and sub-product that comprise the final end product. For example, a refrigerator is a final product with a sub-product being door, shelf, heat exchange unit, fan, ice cube dispenser, light, etc. Each of the sub-products is made up of a smaller product such as door handle, installation, magnetic closure, striping, and internal covering. In planning, product breakdown structure help you to work out what products are to be produced, whether a management product like business case, the project plan, the risk log, etc., or specialist product, the things the project is there to produce. For example, the new IT system, the new building, etc. Again, it is a useful tool in the thinking process and ensure you have identified all the product to be focused. Furthermore, it shows the breakdown of the final product into intermediate product and composes product description detailing the quality needed to be reached for each product. So effort is never passed on. To do this, quality review is done by the role of the SCRAP. SCRAP means chairman, reviewer, administrator, and presenter. They are found in the governing document like the quality strategy and quality register. Furthermore, flowchart is created so we know what product we can manage at each stage. Still using refrigerator as an example, the manufacturing of different components like door, shapes, heat exchange units can be managed at each stage of the project as sub-product to the final product, which is refrigerator. In Prince2, this is called a product-focused approach.
A product scope is a document needed for a project to begin. In fact, there is a need to understand and define what must be delivered from the project in order to ensure the benefits are realized. A product document gives the project scope at each stage of the project and shows the features, functions that characterizes the product, service, result. A product scope uses the product description for each product to define its purpose, composition, format, quality criteria, quality methods, and quality acceptance. They also provide a means to determine the required effort, resources, dependency, and activities. For example, if the product is a bridge, the product scope might be its length, width, load strength, etc. If the product is a cell phone, its product scope will be its screen, battery backup, processor speed, camera, type, memory, and etc. This translates the product scope into something measurable like length, width, load, and etc. Then speaking about change control, Prince uses the term issues to cover any relevant event that has happened, was not planned, and requires management action. It can be concern, request for change, suggestion, or off specification raised during the project, and issues can change time cost, scope, risk, benefit, and the quality of the project. For identifying and resolving issues, Prince suggests useful managerial tools like product status account, daily logs, issue register, issue reports. Of course, for a project manager, certain situations may arise during the controlling stage, and the product may require the addition of new functionalities or attributes. Then a change request form is to be filled. The change request will help the requester and the change authority who are the project board to provide necessary authorization. For example, a senior user would like to upgrade the processor speed of an IT system to comply with the latest software release. So action called request for change will be initiated.
The purpose of knowledge in the quality theme is to define and implement a system that will create and verify that products are fit to use and meet requirements. And the quality theme defines the Prince2 approach to ensure that products created during the project meet the expectations and that the end product can be used as intended. If the quality of the product is not as expected as it's written in project product description, then the pre-described benefits will not be achieved. Quality criteria information is included in product description so that all project stakeholders have a common understanding of the products that will be created. For example, to gain acceptance of final product for handover, if you are creating a new can opener, some of the quality criteria might be: stainless steel and plastic handle should keep their color for 20 years, this dishwasher proof, mechanical parts must open 50,000 cans, easy to use. As you can see, the quality criteria in document called product description gives a lot more detail about the product itself. Most of the time, quality is expressed in quantitative criteria and tolerances with precise numbers, so it's not abstract. So, the quality theme provides a method to help specify the quality, to carry out quality control, to explain how to get approved, and to facilitate the management of quality during the project. There are plenty of documents that are related with the quality, such as customer quality expectation document, acceptance criteria document, quality register, and other documents that are under umbrella of predetermined quality management system. But about them, you will learn during our class.
Speaking about risk management, risk is an uncertain event that, if it occurs, will have a positive opportunity or negative threat effect on the final product. The Prince2 recommended risk management procedure focus on products. It tends to reduce the threats and maximize the opportunities. It leads to the maximization of benefits offered by the products to the end user. For example, if we wish to change the roof of the house, we must choose a period of the year where the possibility of rainy days will be minimum in order to protect the rest of the house from a possible flood. The essential roles in risk management are the risk owner, who is responsible for managing and monitoring risk aspects, and the risk actionee, who is responsible to carry out a particular action to assure the predefined requirements of product. Communication on risk matters between the competent stakeholders is described in Communication Management Strategy document, and it is carried out by different managerial products, like checkpoint reports, highlight reports, end stage reports, and project reports, lessons report. Speaking about acceptance of a product, a list of prioritized attributes that the finished product should have according to its functionality and customer quality expectation is called acceptance criteria. This list is agreed between the customer and supplier in the beginning in the starting up a project process. Once the acceptance criteria list is complete, it will become part of the project brief. These criteria are prioritized by using the technique called must-have. These techniques allow us to separate requirements into the categories of must-have, should-have, could-have, and won't-have for now. Towards the end of the project, the customer will check that all the acceptance criteria have been met before the project can be closed. It is therefore a good idea to have agreed in advance on the acceptance method that will be used.
Thank you for listening to our short lesson. We hope we increased your interest in project management. If you became interested in project management, or if you have any questions, please write to email to an address mentioned below. Thank you and see you in RANEPA.